going to just double check here. Good morning if you're watching us in replay or if you're joining us live. Here we go. I am excited today to bring on some of our inner circle members, also members of our mastermind group. We're going to talk a little bit about the holidays. We're just going to see if anybody pops on here. We are live in the group.
Running a retail business doesn't have to be so hard. Welcome to the Creative Shop Talk podcast, the go-to podcast for creative shop owners, studio owners, and independent retailers. I'm your host, Wendy Batten, retail business coach and mentor. Each week, I'll share simple, proven business strategies, inspiring stories from fellow retailers, and advice from industry experts. Together, we're going to work to find the success you want from your retail business with more profits in your till and a little more joy in your life.
While we're waiting, here we are live doing our holiday boost. While we're waiting for a few people to come on or as people are jumping on, if you guys would like to let us know who's in the room. Who do we have? Jeff, you want to start? Let us know who you are and where your shop is located. What's your shop and where you're located?
Okay, I'm Jeff Lee. I own the Vintage Nest Home and Gifts in Mount Holly, North Carolina, which is just a suburb of Charlotte, North Carolina.
And Jeff, you've been a member of the Inner Circle since the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's like a long time. And Jeff's also a member of our mastermind group, which is the Level Up Mastermind group. Thanks for being here, Jeff. I know it's a busy day as Jeff is wearing his Halloween costume. He's got a shop full of trick-or-treaters, which is a good thing. We always want the kids going home and telling the parents, guess where I was today? Amy, check if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello. I am Amy Czech from Schoolhouse Salvage. We are an architectural salvage antique vintage warehouse in Chagrin Falls, Ohio, which is outside of Cleveland. We lean heavily on antiques and vintage, and I have also been with Wendy for quite some time, and I wouldn't change a thing. I love it, and it's valuable, and it's fabulous. And she didn't to say that.
No, I didn't mean to say that. I think Amy and Jeff, you're like OG, like way back, and also a member of our Level Up Mastermind group. So thank you for taking time. I know that it's really busy for you, a really busy season for everybody. I appreciate you taking time right now. And Amy Hart, let us know. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Amy Hart, and I own the Hair and the Heart in beautiful downtown Thomas, Georgia. We're in Southwest Georgia, just about 30 minutes north of Tallahassee, Florida. And I have been a member of the Inner Circle and the Mastermind group for 3 years now. I took Retail Made Simple in the fall of 2020 and fell in love with Wendy and everything she was teaching me. And I just don't know where I'd be without this group and Wendy.
Oh, well, this is like a lovely love fest for Wendy's. Y'all just filled up my bucket. So that I did put it out to a lot of people to come on, and I think I didn't just think on like these three will say something nice, but as inner circle members, I wanted to bring you on as longtime inner circle members and as retailers who are doing cool things. I see you guys all doing things and working. I always say working the plan, like you're not dabbling in business. If any of you saw my post from yesterday, you're doing the work that it takes, right? And we're also still living lives and trying to juggle all the things and, because it's not just about running a retail business. And I think that's really important as we're going into the holidays. We talk about it in the holiday boot camp. We talk about it, that we have to have a life, and there is life stuff happening around. We all have teams. All of you have teams and people that work with you and for you, but we also have that lifestyle stuff happening. So I wanted to bring some people on today and talk about holiday, like the next 8 weeks, and actually into January, because I know all of you are planning into January. That's an important part as well, too, of this holiday excitement. And my first question, and I would love to, and if anybody's watching, any of our members that are watching, if you have a question, post it in the comments. I'm monitoring the comments as well. So hi, Amanda. Thanks for watching. I see you there as well. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see if the panel can answer them. My first question that I'd pose to all of you is, what are you most excited about coming up over the next 8 weeks? Jeff, you want to go first?
Well, the next 8 weeks is critical for our shop. Basically, fourth quarter is around 40% of our annual sales. The majority of that is in the last 8 weeks. So we've re merchandised the store, new inventory or new types of inventory and things like that. So I'm really excited for our customers to come in for that. I feel like we're about as prepared as we could be for this time of the year. So, and honestly, we kind of cut back on the amount of events we're doing in
Mhm.
the end of the year and focusing on customer service and just relying on community events to kind of drive people downtown. So I just feel like I have great staff. I have the best, from what I can tell. They've only been here a few weeks, the best seasonal people I've ever had, and just very optimistic. It's weird. I'm like, this seems too good to be in this position at this time. So, now, not to say we haven't put a ton of work from August to this point in, but I feel like we'll reap the rewards. I have high hopes for the end of the year.
You have high hopes. You have been putting the work in.
Yeah.
So getting prepared, hiring the right staff, bringing in different product, really paying attention to your customers' needs. I also want to say, I think you said the exact same thing November 1st last year. I actually have a note down that you said, I don't know, I feel weirdly confident about the year. And it was a great year and
It was a
prepared.
great year.
Yeah, and it was a great year last year too. So, but it's because we're putting the work in all year. So just not winging it or waiting last minute. So I am excited that you're excited about this year.
Yeah, our employees now, we have employees that we brought in last year that we kept on all year. And I
Yeah.
feel like they really understand what we're trying to accomplish. So we had a few little bumps, because everybody was brand new pretty much. And
Mhm.
this year with a core group, I'm highly confused.
Yeah. Well,
We'll do the right things and maximize the traffic, foot volume as far as sales go.
yeah, and one of the things that you've done, and I've watched you do, and I'm sure that the two Amy's would agree. We've seen you really prepare your team culture, your team vibe, your training, all of that's really important. So that's why they're prepared because you prepared them for it. So I love that. So thank you, Amy Hart. What are you most looking forward to over the next few weeks?
Well, I was noticing this morning as I walked into my shop that they're already putting up the Christmas lights downtown. I'm really excited about just the festive atmosphere in our town. We are in a very historic, beautiful downtown, and our town does a really good job of putting Christmas on. So, the festive atmosphere, but like Jeff was talking about all the events in our town, we're going to participate in those in December. We do have a few events in November that we're doing with some of the artisans that we carry in our shop. We've already actually done one in November to kick off fall, but we're going to be kicking off holiday shopping in November with two separate events. So I'm really excited about those. Been reverse engineering those and really making sure that we're ready for them and really promoting those as well. And then also I've been working on that Sales Accelerator funnel since May, and we have been beating our stretch sales goals every month since July. And we're about to beat our stretch goal for October. So, like Jeff was saying, just doing all the work ahead of time and then watching all of our numbers, not just the top dollar numbers, but watching all of our numbers. And I feel like we're prepared this season as well with just all of our events, how we're marketing, educating our staff, and just being ready to find the perfect gift for every customer that walks in the store that's shopping for this season. So, really excited about everything.
Really, really fine tuning. And I love that you're working the strategy, the sales strategy. I also love that you're working. Look at that. She mentioned the numbers. Wendy's going to mention the numbers. It's not so much the numbers. Like you said, you're looking at all of your audience has been growing, your foot traffic's been growing, your conversion's been growing, your
Yes.
email list has been growing, your sales have been growing, but your profits are we're watching all of those numbers. And that is the sales strategy. And everybody in the inner circle here has access to that training. So make sure you go in and do it and then work the plan. It's not too late. So, and of course, Amy's been deep diving a little bit more. She did the Sales Accelerator, the 6-week Sales Accelerator that we did as well. And of course, inside the inner circle or the mastermind group. But, we all have access to that and just paying attention to those numbers and setting those goals and bringing your team on board. So I love it. And I think you've built great momentum. Like Jeff, you've really made some great shifts and choices in what of product lines and streamlining and all of those things so that it's just now you're just implementing. That's how I see
Mhm.
it.
Yes.
Implementing, doing the things now. We're not deciding the things and everything right now.
Right.
Everybody can take away from that. I think everybody in the inner circle can take away like planning ahead and just making those decisions as early as possible so that you can implement and not be running around. So I love that. So I'm excited to see what happens this season for you. So because of
Thank
all these
you.
things. So
Yes. It's gonna be fun.
yeah. Amy, what are you most looking forward to?
So we take it in like a 5 week chunk because we are not a gift store and we are in a heavily diverse area that doesn't really do Christmas full bore. So we're really aware of needing to mix in vintage and antiques. So the next 5 weeks for us is a really big push. And we put some number goals in place. I'm a numbers goal kind of person. I too am doing a sales accelerator. So I knew what was not working. And for us, it was foot traffic. It's not working. So yesterday we had a staff meeting. We doubled down on our online goals with specific dollar values per day and what everyone's doing. So I am so excited to see that work because yesterday was day one and we nailed it. So as the days go by, that fills me up. I love to nail those goals. And we are resetting for Christmas. So this week's going to be fun. And I cannot wait to show all of our online people what we're doing for Christmas. It's going to be so much fun. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, I've been excited watching you get excited for Christmas. So just to put out with all of your items that you're putting out there, that's cool. And your people are excited. So Amy's really good at building like her clientele. Teasing, I would say, is what you're really good at, Amy, as also measuring how that teasing is working.
Well, it's teasing because you know me, I don't have a plan. So I'm really just as excited as everyone else to see what happens today. So it's by just default because that's how we roll.
Yeah. So I just want to say that because I know a lot of people like, I don't want to plan. So Amy just said she's not a planner. And then Amy Hart said she is a planner, like, planning ahead. I would, I would back that up and say that you do have plans in place. You pay attention. You just don't have specific, here's what we're doing today and here's what we're doing tomorrow. I mean, I know that you know your goals and you have your direction. Yeah. Your team is well trained. And
Like I don't have a plan like Jeff where I'm buying Christmas in June. I'm buying Christmas right now as things sell. That's kind of
yeah,
how we do things. But yes, I very honestly have a daily, monthly plan. But I'm excited because we're unpacking stuff and I can be excited along with
right.
customers. That's kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah, and I love that. And I will say it as well too, you just mentioning, like, your buying patterns, you have 5 weeks because your people they're not Christmas shopping, they're not gift shopping, right? They're home decor, pretty
Yeah.
like they're buying to home decor. So it's knowing that is already being ahead of the game. I also, if I can throw this out there, I'm either going to throw you under the bus or you're going to, I'm totally ready, but I know you can take it. One of the things that you mentioned last year, I think it was last year, even actually the year before, is make sure I'm ready for January. Like, make sure I'm ready for January. So in October, I think in October or in last January, we planned for last October. You had said I need to be ready for January, so you were ready for
Yeah.
January this year because Amy saw a huge dip in January.
Mhm.
So do you have anything in place for January sales right
Yes,
now?
so in true Amy Check style, we're going to completely redo the warehouse. I'm moving all my vendors. I'm redoing a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to close
Mhm.
for 2 weeks. And during that 2 weeks, we're just going to do our inventory clean out. We're going to reset and refocus, kind of trying to recapture the market in our immediate area, which does not seem to be coming to any store in our area, and really take this time to do a big grand reopening. And we're super excited about it because for a while I was beating the drum of I'm super frustrated, but instead we're going to take it as an opportunity to do a grand reopening, reinvent ourselves, and do it in a positive light and roll out a massive reopening in January. So that's this January's plan. And I am so excited about it.
I love that. I think your people will be excited about it too. So I love that. See, you got a plan in place.
A plan.
Jeff, how are you? What are you doing to bring people back in January?
Well, we we've moved greatly towards being a gift shop and an apparel shop. So when we were more DIY home decor, Valentine's Day was really difficult for us to attract a lot of traction.
Mm.
So in my buying, and a lot of the things that are here now are we brought in 3 different perfume lines, which are doing really well. We've had costume jewelry for a long time. We're bringing in 18 karat dipped jewelry, 20, 12, 14 karat something else jewelry. I can't remember all the things, but it's just the next level of jewelry. It's not fine jewelry, but it's next level. So we're really putting all of our eggs into Valentine's Day and being a great place to buy gifts. And all of those things are item wise higher than our average sales ticket right now. So I feel like we've gotten good response so far from those items. I think the product mix we have now, we can really take advantage of Valentine's Day. So I thought about doing those bounce back buck things, but I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. I'm not a big promotions person. I like to clearance out seasonal merchandise and then have a twice a year clearance on other things that are just slow turners. I just don't really feel good about bounce back yet, but I may do it later. But our eggs are in the Valentine's basket. We want to increase, January, which would be late January sales and early February sales. If I can get those up about 25, 30% with all the emphasis on Valentine's gift buying, I'll be very happy with it.
That's a great idea. I love jewelry for you. I think it goes
Yes.
so well with your clothing that you've trended to. I think it's a no-brainer. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And high
And
margin.
Yep.
it has good margins. Really, the apparel and jewelry both are great margins actually compared to what I'm used to. So
Yeah.
that's our emphasis. I hope it works. It can't hurt. I mean, January is kind of slow, but with apparel, I think we'll have better sales anyway in January. People buy clothes all year long. I'm totally surprised at the amount of clothes we sell is just
People
crazy.
always want fresh in that. Yeah. In that.
Yes.
So,
So,
yeah.
but that's our plan.
Planning for January. Hey, Hart, what about you? How are you planning for January?
Well, so for kind of all of Q1, which would start in January, we're going to be planning on, we do a lot of our own designs. So we're planning to launch some new and fresh designs and new product lines that are original to us. So I'm excited about that. That may not necessarily be in January. That might be more like February, March.
Q1.
Just like most places, probably January is our slowest time. But what I have learned is to be open that week after Christmas and going into the new year. I made that mistake the first year that we were open here in Thomasville. And I thought, oh, everyone's going to be all shopped out. And they are not. They have family in town. They just got money from grandma and they want to go shopping. So we always make sure we're open that week. And then, that first, and like Amy said, we always kind of reset in January. We have added a whole new section to our store this past summer, the Petit Marché, which is all of our food items, which I predict will do really well through like the holiday season. But I see us doing a lot of promotions from that section, kind of that hygge time of year, that cozy time of year. The holidays are over. It's still chilly. Valentine's is coming up, like Jeff said, and just like you're getting reorganized too. So we have organizational stuff in that section as well, like for your pantry and things like that. So I plan on doing a lot of promotional thing, not necessarily sales, but like promoting that section of our store in January. So I'm trying to think anything else. Yeah, it's actually kind of my favorite time of year. I like the weather at that time of year, and I like that it's kind of a quieter time of year. So I plan to just do a lot of things in my emails and blogs and things like that.
I think being aware of an anticipation and expectations of what's going to happen. So all 3 of you already have a plan for Q1, which I'm very proud of. Very proud of all.
Taught us well. You taught us
Yes.
well.
Well,
Listening to the
there's
training because that's why we have the plan.
Right. We have to have a planning for what's happening. I think it's also really important, and you can all agree or disagree. Let me know if you disagree. That's totally fine. But I think this is the time of the year as well that we reap the harvest right now. As Jeff said, 40% of his income comes from Q4, or his revenue comes from Q4. We have to be really careful about how we protect that cash, and, how we spend that money. And because what I see from a lot of sort of, I want to say, reactive retailers is that, the cash flows up in Q4 and then the cash flows down in Q1, and they're all panicky. But, having a plan in place and knowing, as my business coach always says, squirreling that harvest away. Like, she's always talking about making sure that good times and bad. And I think that comes from lessons learned in retail and lessons
And,
from experience, right?
and I want to add to that, Wendy, having a buying plan
Yes.
for the year, all of a
Mhm.
sudden, those large numbers that are sitting in the bank account aren't so large
Mhm.
anymore. I mean, when you look at your projected sales and then the projection of what you need to purchase or have already purchased in my case, and
Mhm.
that number starts to whittle down. It's not quite as big as it looks in the account. So a buying plan and projected sales are very, very crucial. Because I'll tell you honestly, we will be neck and neck with expenses and sales and invoices to purchase, for Mother's Day and things like that starting in January.
I mean, it happens, right? We have to be
And
totally.
then
I want to mention this month. So actually, I think next week, this is the 31st of October as we're recording this. I think on the 4th of November, we have a entire new masterclass going into the inner circle. I know that the mastermind members have already had access to that. And it's an open to buy, understanding how to plan your inventory. It's been something that the inner circle members have been asking for. So I brought in a strategist, an inventory strategist, to do the session for us. And Gwen has done the entire session for us. And it is a really good, broken down, easy to understand how to do a buying plan. So if what Jeff just said, like, kind of made you, if you haven't done a buying plan or you don't know what that means, we've got the training now in the inner circle. Or we will this week. It'll be dropped this week in the inner circle. So to give you that ease a little bit and to understand, it is important. The other thing is what I'm seeing, and again, I think you've all experienced this at some point in time, just from working with you and to share with other inner circle members. We really have to be profit mindset. And I know I talk about that. So it does not matter how much, like, how busy we are moving product at the top. Like, we could just be busy shuffling product out the door. If it's not making it, like, that's just exhausting and that's just too much. Really understanding profits and how that fits in, and how much is our payroll, and what percentage are we, what do we have to spend? Like, how much money do we have to work with and play with? And understanding that you all do that very well. Do any of you have any tips on protecting your profits? Like, really, like, something like a lesson learned that you could share with an inner circle, any of the other inner circle members? Anything at all?
well,
With
we're turn rate.
Uh-huh.
Turn rate for us is huge. And if I sit down and look, I've been analyzing these numbers in my spare time. I mean,
Nerd.
you can have something that's a profit margin, but if it's not turning, it's not earning its keep on the floor.
Right.
And that's what this year for me has been about, is to weed out these slow turn products, or for products
Mhm.
turning, but not turning as fast as the amount of square footage I dedicated to it, squeezing that down into a smaller display. So the turn rate per square foot is still good, but it's not spread way out and looks like a phenomenal display, which I have one product line right now. I'm not turning fast enough to justify how well it looks and how spread out it looks. So that will be a change probably at the beginning of the year. It's too late to make the change now. But turn rates are huge. That gives you the foundation for making decisions about what to go forward with. And
Right.
also looking at what's turning and going, you know, what else is out there in the market and the millions of products that I can select from that could possibly meet another customer's need in that similar area. So,
Oh, that's such a good idea. I've never even thought about that, because then I just go back to the same thing that's selling, but that's such a good idea.
Yeah. And sometimes, and Jeff made big decisions this year on, we get emotionally attached to our product lines, right? And in our mastermind group about this a lot. Like, we have to really pay, maybe the price is going up in something that we love. Maybe our customers love it. Maybe we love it. Maybe we want to keep it. Maybe it looks great on the shelf. We all get attached to these things. And especially as emotional buyers, when we're buying, if you're buying because we love something, but if it's not earning its keep, to what Jeff said, it has to be sales, hit the sales per square foot, have a good turn rate, have good margins. All of these things matter. It's really important.
Yeah. I like that too, Jeff, because also with the good turn rate and then buying fresh too all the time, then people aren't seeing the same thing in your shop all the time. It all needs to obviously go with the feel and the theme of your shop. But if someone thinks, oh, well, I can wait 6 months to buy that because it's always going to be there, you need to kind of sometimes, I mean, obviously we have like our stalwarts. We have our La Rochelle glassware and we have our fusion mineral paint and we have our lavender product. But I like to mix up kind of the things. I don't even know what percentage. I'll have to look, Wendy, of my products that I do mix up like that so that people don't get complacent and think that they can wait to buy something. You need to create kind of a
Mhm.
little bit of a sense of urgency. Oh, I better buy that while I see it because it may not be here next time I come. Yeah. And then like Jeff, I've moved some things to a smaller footprint in my store, the paint being one of them. For me, it's going to sell no matter where I put it because I have those return customers all the time. So we've kind of squeezed it in. It actually kind of looks better all squished together and not all spread out. But is that a technical term? Squished.
Squish.
Yeah,
Yes.
squished.
It's the official retail terminology.
More
I want to
yeah.
remind everybody that we have an entire masterclass in the library under masterclasses for inventory, and we do talk about those categories and understanding your core product line, like Amy just mentioned. There's some things that people are always going to come in for. You have to make sure you have, like that's a core product. And we go through the other 4 types of products that you want, and one of them is making sure that you have that fresh new, look. So I'm not going to talk about the whole masterclass here. Go find it in the masterclass section. It's under inventory. And it's a good one. It's not just about the numbers, it's about the product mix and understanding your churns and understanding how to display it and why it's important. So, and how, merchandising and inventory, both of them together make a big difference in your churn rate as well, too, right? So, but any other comments on protecting your profits or making
I think
maximum?
one thing I learned, and I fell into this trap probably 3 or 4 years ago, like this early in what I call early in the season, like October, I panicked and I was like, "Oh my god, I don't have enough wholesale." Fell into the trap of watching what other people were doing, and I ordered a crap ton of stuff, and to be honest, I'm still selling through it because I fell into the trap of needing to do what everyone else was doing and not really paying attention to what I should be doing. So that's partially why we buy so diligently because I learned that lesson the hard way. I spent so much money this time a couple years ago and it was not good.
Yes. Yeah. 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 I've seen you struggle with that inventory and, the panic buying, right? Panic
That's what
buying.
it
Yeah.
is. Panic buying. Yes. So I've learned I know that about myself now and I stay off wholesale websites. And I can't control myself. I'm like, I can't more bottle groceries.
It goes back to having a buying plan and knowing what you need, right? Or what you want to make and what you need to sell and what our budget is, because it's just like us going shopping, right? And most of us that have our retail businesses, well, when I had mine open, it's like, oh, you go to the shows, you go on the buying sites, you're like, woo, and we've all done that. Everybody's done that. Like, but then then you learn, right? You learn your lesson from
Well, you learn when you go into January and you're like, where's all my money? So
Right.
now I want the money in January. I'm knocking it off with the buying and I'm selling. That's what we're doing.
that's hilarious.
On that note, specifically for me with holiday items, and I've learned that through like all the holidays of the year, I want to be the store where people are buying their Christmas gifts, not necessarily their Christmas decor, because I found like I've overbought that in the past and then we're selling it on the sidewalk sale in February. And I'd rather spend that money on things that are going to be bought the quarter I bought them. So we do enough Christmas buying so that it looks festive in the store and we can do a few displays and sell some Christmas gifty type items. But we've really tried to focus on that too.
Awesome. I want to honor all of your time today. I said I would keep it tight, keep it short. I know you're all busy getting ready for all the things. One last question, and this actually came from one of the members. It was submitted the other day. I said, would you ask the panelists, that's all of you, would you ask them your best advice for enjoying the holidays through all this crazy time? So, because as we know, we can all get wrapped up in squirrely and, like chaotic. So, I have said in the boot camp that I feel like we really need to make sure we're checking in with ourselves and still enjoying the big rocks. We have to make sure we take care of that stuff. That's why we plan ahead. That's my advice. Is always to make sure you plan ahead and how we show up on a daily basis to our team, for our suppliers, for our family, how we're showing up through this season matters. How we're showing, because customers can pick up on that. I don't care how much you fake it, right? So my advice is always like really checking in and making sure I'm not like spinning out of control. So do you have any advice? Amy Hart, you want to give us your best tip for enjoying the holidays and staying sane? I don't know. Enjoying the holidays, showing up for all your people and yourself. Showing up for yourself too.
Yeah, it's definitely a learned thing, I would say, because every year I feel like it's getting better and better. And kind of like what I talked about earlier, it's planning those events way ahead of time, having them set. I've been really good about planning my weekly emails ahead of time and knowing what I'm going to be talking about. And it actually is fun to even write my emails now, I will say. So that's going to carry out through the whole year. But yeah, plan, calendar. We've done our calendar through December for who's working what day, and really been working on educating my staff, my little tiny staff, on what we're getting in, what we're going to be selling, what we're excited about. I'm excited about doing my shop windows this year because I started thinking about it in July. So I'm really excited about this holiday season. So again, I think the key word is plan. And I know that that is just beating the same drum that Wendy talks about all the time, and it works.
It works for you. So, Jeff, what about you?
Well, I definitely follow your advice about the big rocks, and that's what my wife and I have done. We sat down, decided when our personal holiday party will be, all the things that I've let slide in the past,
Uh-huh.
for the sake of the store. So we got those planned out. As far as the store goes, I feel like we're in pretty much have done about all we can do ahead of time. We're getting very close. Once we finish our store decorations this week, pretty much we're set to go. I mean, it's just that's pre work has been done. The other thing I'm doing to take pressure off of the holidays, I'm decorating my house Sunday. That's my responsibility to get the tree up, get the decorations out, usually decorate the tree and do the front porch, the whole night. I don't care what my neighbors. But that is such a stressful thing. The closer I get to Thanksgiving, I just hate it so bad. I'm like, we're doing it early. I mean, I'm just doing everything early that I can and deciding what is personal priorities because the store's going to do what the store's going to do. I mean, I know we planned events and we've done all these things, but you know, I think for us, we have such a core base of people, they're going to come to the store. If we skip having a cookie tasting one Tuesday and the second week in December, they're still coming. No one's coming just for the cookies. And I don't mean quite that event at all.
Like, let it go.
But all those little things that are niceties, we will work a couple in, but we're not doing as much as we did last year. So, and I learned a big lesson last year. I came down with COVID. I believe it's the first weekend in December. My staff ran the store at the busiest time of the year through Christmas Eve by themselves.
Mhm.
And I'm like, Jeff, you really got to relax. They got it. They really have it. Just relax. Let them do their jobs because they do it very, very well. And December is 3 times any other month except November for us in sales. So they were husky,
Yeah.
and there was nothing I could do about it. I was home sick as a dog. So I'm relying on that as well. They'll do the same this year. Having people you can trust, planning ahead and determining what you're going to do personally and how to get that done is my advice.
Yeah. That's a great advice. Amy, what about you?
A lot of what they had said, I think we're veteran enough to know that we've made the mistakes in years past. So I am prioritizing what I want to do at home. And we set the plan yesterday so I know when I have to be at the store. And then the rest of the time, what's good enough is good enough. And my staff is gonna do what they can do, and you've got to bless and release some of that and
Yeah.
put time in your schedule to put up your own tree. Like Jeff said, I'm going to focus on things that I've probably pushed off the last several years, but I feel really good about doing those things and, spending the time that we've blocked out just to relax and let it go. You just got to let it go. If you've done what you can do, you have to just let it go.
Yeah, I agree. I think we can get really tied up. And I mean, we've all experienced that. As you said, we're all veteran in that world. And for any inner circle members listening, and if you have questions around that, you can just get yourself tied up in the knots. And I love that, you just Jeff said, the cookies we don't do a taste testing. We don't do a taste testing. Like, you got to let it go. We're the only ones. This has always been my favorite reminder to myself. I'm the only one who knows what doesn't get done.
Mhm.
Right? So I'm the only one who knows we didn't get the bunting hung up, or we didn't get the thing done, or I didn't get that, whatever. But it will come out if we don't. We'll burn out, first of all. And like, personally have been there. Like, burnout with holidays because I missed the cookies, I missed the concerts, I missed all the stuff because I had to be at the store, right? But the store is going to do what the store is going to do. I love that, Jeff, because you've got it planned and you did put the effort in, and what doesn't happen. So, and again, why we talk a lot about planning in advance. So I do want to mention that in the inner circle we have a new, well, I want to say it's a level up of our old dashboard. We've always had a dashboard for you to help for your marketing and your planning. We're calling it the playbook now. Amy helped us name that. It's a marketing dashboard and playbook. And so the November one was just put out today. And inside we have reminders of emails to send. So as Amy Hart mentioned, she's front loading all that. She's getting all those templates done. So we have 6 email templates in there for you to write and send to your people. We have the social media post prompts. I didn't write your social media for you, but I got the prompts for you. A lot of that stuff's all taken care of. We also have ideas for promotions for Small Biz Saturdays, and there's all kinds of other content ideas inside that playbook, along with your dashboard for your metrics. Because you heard everybody here say they measure the metrics and they look at their numbers. So we're still looking at that as well, too. So I want to remind everybody that that's there. I also want to remind everybody, I want to thank you 3 for being here today. You're all members of the Mastermind group, which we have applications open. If there's any inner circle members who are interested in joining us in the Mastermind group, let me know and I'll make sure you get an application form. And we're probably going to have room for 2, maybe 3 members before the end of the year. So just let me know if you want to be part of it. These 3 have all said they're hanging out for another little while in the Mastermind group for another year. So just let me know if you want to be part of that. And for you 3, I want to thank you for being here. I know, again, this is a really busy time. This is a crazy time, but thank you for taking time out of your schedule. And I know you're all planners, so I know you plan to be here today. So I appreciate it. Anything that you'd love to leave anybody with? Amy Hart, do you have anything?
Sorry, I had to unmute. Sorry for any background noise on my end earlier. I'm really excited. We're having an event this Saturday in our shop, and one of our inner circle members is going to be participating in it, Jenny Bickley of Honeybee Fabrications. She is a newer inner circle member, and I just wanted to give her a shout out. She's launched her own line of products. She's always fabricated our original products for us for the past 7 years, but she's now launching her own line. So we're going to be featuring her as one of our 4 artisans. So we'll be posting pictures about that. We'll post some in the inner circle.
So fun. So fun. Yes, I love that. So, Jeff, anything you want to leave everybody with?
It's taken me many years. This is my 13th Christmas, I believe, to get to the point. This is really a time of the year that we should enjoy this time of year.
Mhm.
I mean, I was always under the mindset of I'm gonna have to grind it out,
Mhm.
and there's a time,
Yeah.
in every store's time frame and building and things like that, that you do have to put in that grind out work. But that is not the way it has to be. And I'm still learning that. I mean, each year. So even if you can't get to the point where you want to be, you can in 3 or 4 years be to that point. I'm hoping to turn the corner again for this holiday season and enjoy it. But we should really be enjoying it. This is time when our customers are excited to be in the store. They're excited to be buying. And this can really catapult your first and second quarter because they really enjoy it and you're enjoying it. They'll return quicker to your store. That's the way I always say it. To me, this is a huge marketing game as well.
Yeah.
It's really locking down some customers who are just the 1 and 2, 3 time a year customers, and to being 4 or 5 time a year customers. Not only Christmas and Mother's Day, but also birthdays and anniversaries and everything else. So enjoy the time. Make sure your customers are enjoying the time, and let all the other stuff just. I haven't done that in the past, but I'm getting there. So,
You're getting better, Jeff. That's
yeah,
such a great reminder. I love that reminder. And the other part about that is we have a lot of people testing us out this time of the year, right?
yeah,
They're giving us a go. They're trying us out. They've never shopped here before. It's first time in. This is our time to shine and do the thing that we started to do. Most of us opened our businesses for service and hospitality and to share our love of all the things. Here we are, all stressed out, running around with our heads cut off. No. So enjoying your customers and doing your thing right now. This gives you time and to sell. We're all good. We're much better much better salespeople when we're serving, right? When we're serving from a place of caring about our people. So I love that. Great reminder. Amy, anything else to share?
I just want to echo the things that you have taught me as far as projecting your mindset, because your customers and staff, even though you think you're presenting a calm, if you are stressed out, they know it. And what I've learned is to figure out what's stressing me out, take it off my list, adjust it, let it go, because no matter what, you're conveying that irritation and stress, and your customers won't respond to it, your kids, your family, and just take a minute, take a beat, make a list, let some of that go and enjoy the time, because I too, this is my 10th year, and it comes with growth, and it comes with knowing what didn't work and really knowing what to say no to also. We don't do events. Just know what your no is and it'll get much better.
You've really nailed your nose. People say,
Look at it.
I do not like that. I am not doing that anymore.
Well, it's so funny because I just went through it again and it's constant. I went through what in my week is really pissing me off and causing me stress, and I adjusted it. I gave it to someone else or I changed it. Because if I'm not looking forward to it, then I'm not doing it, because it's going to translate to my customers and it's a waste of time.
And I think that goes for all parts of our
Mhm.
business. What
Yeah.
what can we, we have to do our bookkeeping, y'all, but no, that's a hard no for me. I think we're running off the list. Get it out of here. Have fun. I know there's parts of it. So thank you. That's great advice. So thank you all. I appreciate all of you being here. You know how much I love you all. And I'm sure the Inner Circle members are taking out. We've got lots of comments coming in. So lots of great advice they're saying. So I appreciate your time and your advice and all of your great skill sets that you're sharing with everybody.
Thank
So
you, Wendy.
thanks,
We will
Thank
everybody.
you.
Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Creative Shop Talk podcast. I'm so glad that you were here to join us this week, and I hope you found value in what we're sharing here. I want to remind you that our website has all of the show notes. You can find it at wendybatten.com/podcast. Everything that you need to hear about today's podcast is there. Also an opportunity if you need to reach out to me. If I can support you in any way whatsoever, please feel free to reach out. So thanks for joining us. Please leave a review, subscribe if you can, and never miss an episode. We hope to see you back here again next week. Thanks, my friend. Have a great week.